Morning. Good morning to London and Europe. And I'm from Hong Kong. I'm Stephanie Wong. So glad to be in this local chapters of ANA launch sessions. So we will start with the Hong Kong chapter first. So I will be the Hong Kong chapter's founding member. Today's my topic will be about well-being, about inclusions, and about community, and that's what our Hong Kong chapter will be focusing in the coming period. So before we dive into all these topics that will be our focus of Anna Hong Kong chapters, I would like to have an introduction of myself first. Yeah, I'm Stephanie Wong. I'm a human resources person. So I have 20 years of background in the human resources and in the corporate. And I do have consulting and coaching experience. And currently I'm engaged with Mitsubishi Corporation. I guess you heard of this name. It's a Japanese conglomerate. And I am in a C-suite and being the chief administrative officer. And of course, as human resources as my core professions, my company had me extend my scope into legal and corporate administration 6 years ago. So though I'm a human resource person, I have a lot of experience and exposure in other corporate functions. So which is a very, very fulfilling journey in the corporate life. So as my profession in human resources, I have a first degree in business management. I have studied organizational psychology. That's what's my first master's degree. And then later, I took another master's in psychology. This is kind of an obsession in a way. Then I learned about the brain. So I started to look around to study neuroscience. And it's kind of difficult in Hong Kong that we could not really access to um, academic program about neuroscience. And because I'm a working adult, I learned about King's College, London University offering a program about applied neuroscience. Got so excited. So instantly I registered, got admitted and complete my study. So that's how I get engaged with applied neuroscience and graduated from this master's degree. So I gained my full membership with ANA and how I got here with everybody. Founding member of Anna Hong Kong chapters. I have psychological study. I registered with British Psychological Society as well. So beyond my profession, my family, that's me and my husband. This is an actual photo that we turned into a comic style. That actually the background with all the buildings is from Hong Kong. My favorite pastime is hiking, city walk, studying, and actually I find studying it's really relieve my stress. So I will pursue my further master's or PhD, if I need to. My other interest is horticulture, sculpture painting. My favorite movie is Beautiful Minds, a famous movie. I'm not sure whether you know. So it's a very famous mathematicians that had schizophrenia and how he recovered through his strong willpower without taking medications. So that's how I got interested into neuroscience and how important our brain to our whole physical health and emotional health and everything about ourselves. And then I have a motto in life. Actually, you saw that photos taken in New Zealand. So the little red hobbit there that you could see from the grassland is me. I was looking at the majestic mountains. So what is motto in life for me is like we are small in front of the majestic mountains, but every small steps we make could make a huge difference to our life and lives around us. So I would like to bring this motto into Anna Hong Kong chapter. I would like to bring a difference to everyone's lives around me. Very quickly, I would like to go into the core topics I would like to present to everybody today. This is about well-being, inclusion, and community. So, all right. We'd like to bring some information and statistics and about mental health in Hong Kong. We have a population of 0.53 million. Hong Kong faces complex and evolving mental health challenges shaped by its densely populated and high-tempo environments. Whoever visited Hong Kong before, they knew the hustle and bustle lives and within the city. So you have a very busy city life. So people prone to mental health problems. So you may have work pressures, family pressures, and you have competition and resources pressure. So this is one of the situation in Hong Kong, because applied neuroscience has a very wide area of focus. I would like to scale down to how the shape in Hong Kong to help the community. So basically it's in two dimensions. First is workplace and then the community. So on the left sides of the slides, you will see that in Hong Kong, we have 3.8 million workers. And then, of course, a total population of 7.53 million. And you could hear that 50% of the portions, it's workers. So actually, workplace mental health is a very important area that we should focus in. And working environment in Hong Kong is generally stressful. Employee well-being and DEI initiatives are not the prevailing market practice in Hong Kong. So we have many employers' well-being or wellness measure, DEI measures into the company remains at elementary levels, such as providing employee assistance program, medical benefits coverage, basic health talks, fitness gym subsidies, etc. So actually, I think we can do more and provide more services and solutions to the workplace and to the employers. Next is about the mental health, what we can do for Hong Kong community. Mental disorders are increasingly prevalent among children, youth, and the elderly. To better understand their situations, the government has commissioned targeted studies by the Chinese University of Hong Kong and the University of Hong Kong. Survey findings released in 2023 by CEO Hong Kong revealed that 24.4% of children and adolescents aged 6 to 17 were affected by mental disorders. This is quite major. 24.4% is 1/4 of the population. The Hong Kong Youth Survey highlighted a concerning 19.4% rate of suicidal ideation among youth aged from 15 to 24. These are very basic statistics, which I will share more in details later to you in the slides. So continue with the first dimension that I would like to work on is the workplace mental health and DEI. Research conducted by the Wellbeing Research Center at Oxford indicated that organizations with higher levels of employee well-being deliver higher returns on assets, larger profits, and achieve greater valuations. These are very solid indications of DEI. For anybody who doesn't know DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusions, as drivers of employee engagement, mental health, and company performance. According to the Czech National Institute of Mental Health, employers are facing a workforce mental health crisis across Europe. Mental health problems among employees are costing the EU economy approximately 170 billion euro a year in neglect work. DEI is slowly advancing across Asia, though still at a starting stage. The region's diverse cultural, linguistic, and social landscapes have created unique DEI needs. The growing presence of global businesses and changing social norms is offering new opportunities for inclusion as more organizations recognize DEI's impact on innovation, employee engagement, and market expansion. While challenges remain, such as cultural resistance, structural inequalities, and limited protections for certain groups, despite these challenges, there is significant potential for positive change in the region. So can go to workplace well-being. How do we address the disparities? Actually, in the workplace, we have groups that are being marginalized. Mental health issues affect employees across all demographics, especially marginalized groups. So they often face unique challenges that can disproportionately affect their well-being. Some organizations have less exposure to the notion of DEI. So employees from underrepresented groups may encounter systemic biases. There are microaggressions or lack of representation in the workplace, all which can harm their mental health. And before I go into number 3, I would like to share is Hong Kong have discrimination legislations, but it focuses on racial discrimination, disability discriminations, family status discrimination, and sex discrimination. So we do have coverage on that, how we protect the underrepresented groups, but to adopt some of the best practice and market practice into the workplace, I think we still have a room to grow and to work on. So number 3 is about cultural shift. When we talk about workplace wellness and DEI, so the cumulative impact of systemic biases can leave employees feeling undervalued and alienated. Workplace well-being is not achieved through standalone policies or programs alone. It requires a cultural shift. In the studies applied neuroscience, there are many best practice or the best toolkit that we can introduce for workplace well-being initiatives. Beyond workplace well-being, we talk about another area, workplace neurodiversity. So this is about inclusion. Recognizing neurodiversity, a pillar of DEI strategies. Why do I have this separated out from the workplace wellness? I would like to have this topic highlighted because this term neurodiversity in Hong Kong is still not very well known. When we talk about neurodiversity, what is it all about? Effective DEI strategies and practices can support long-term workplace well-being. Neurodiversity is emerging as a distinct area of focus, reflecting its relative novelty among employers and HR practitioners. Judy Singer, an Australian sociologist, coined the term neurodiversity to promote equality and inclusion. She conceived it primarily as a social justice movement, but neurodiversity research and education are increasingly shaping how clinicians and communities will and address certain disabilities and neurological conditions. As mental health challenges rise in Hong Kong, it is increasingly important for workplace to develop the knowledge and skills needed to support these historically underrepresented groups. It's all about the workplace that we Hong Kong chapter would like to focus. Now we can move on to community mental health. So the challenge that we have, number 1 is mental health of children, and I shared some statistics at the beginning of the slide. So you had preliminary impression about children, about youth, and about our elderly. Challenge number 2 is, according to the Hong Kong Census and Statistics Department, data shows a growing trend in the city's aging populations. It is projected that about 1/3 of the population will be aged 65 or above by 2041. It's 1/3. So this is quite a challenge ahead. And the aging populations raises concern with the mental health services, with conditions such as dementia most commonly affecting older people. I have further statistics I can share with everybody here. So with the Chinese University Hong Kong survey, that children and youth mental health statistics, 4.4% was indicated that children and youth have several types of mental disorders. So first you could see, like, from the top left-hand side is 0.1% anxiety disorder, depressive disorder, 5.4%, disruptive, impulsive control and conduct disorder, 0.8%, and then 0.2% the attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. So there are groups of people who may need help. We have many people in the community, the educators, the teachers, and then counselors, social workers. They will need to handle children and youth with mental health problems. They need more information, knowledge, intellectuals from perhaps Anna to give them more information on how to deal with this kind of conditions. Even the parents would like to know more. Then that you may say, government help on this? Of course, yes. Hong Kong do have such facilities and frameworks of the community care, but it's not sufficient. So lack of practitioners to help the people who needs all these services. So these are the opportunities that I think we can lend a hand to. Another statistics that I extracted here is the Hong Kong Youth Survey. Hong Kong Youth identified 35.9% of children and youth with suicidal behaviors. So what are they? 19.4% suicidal ideation, 5% suicidal plan, and 0.5% suicidal attempt. We really need help from professional or semi-professional people to help with these children and youth in the community. So that's why this is one of the area that Hong Kong chapter can help with. Snapshots of the statistics of survey results that we have. And I would like to share what are the government focus we have in Hong Kong government focus in the future. Hong Kong government identifies 4 focus areas for community mental health, not far from what we have talked about just now. Mental health promotions, mental health services for children and adolescents, mental health service for adults, and dementia support services for the elderly. Yesterday, I visited a renowned hospital in Hong Kong. It's a hospital full of history, almost 100 years old. So they have a newly established center in dementia and elderly care center. So slowly, the hospital and the institution outside being set up because the government would like to have focus on this too. So with all this background that we learn, I would like to share with you some of the approach in Hong Kong that we would like to focus in the future. First is workplace wellness. What do we do? Is about research-based knowledge for evidence-led workplace practices and leadership transformation rooted in applied neuroscience. And how do we do it? So speaker sessions at industry conferences, social media engagement, training and workshops, boot camps, mentoring, top leadership articles, podcast interviews, and bespoke workplace initiatives. And why do we do that? To equip the leaders and the organizations with the insights and tools needed to cultivate psychological safety, DEI policies and practices, and sustainable performance. Another dimension that we would like to approach is about community care. What we do is neuroscience-backed research-based models and practical tools for stress management, emotional regulation, and enhancing individual and collective well-being tailored for diverse community settings. And how do we do that? Through interactive knowledge sharing sessions, community discussions circles, guest speaker panels at conferences, experiential workshops, guided well-being exercises, and local awareness events. And why do we do that? Because by doing that, we can empower individuals and communities with skills to reduce stress, build resilience, and foster a culture of care, connections, and mental health equity. So this is a phrase that I read from a report. I would like to share with everybody. Perhaps you have read that before too, but there is no health without mental health. The World Health Organizations. I think this is very true. Everything comes from your brain. And then there is idioms among Chinese or Hong Kongers share that every pain comes from your brain phrase. So we have a lot more to learn and experience the journey through applied neuroscience, how we can help more people in the country. Mental health brings social impacts to economic prosperity, as well as personal development, family harmony, and social stability. It affects not just minority groups, but entire populations. So again, I would like to bring my motto as a closing here. The small steps we take together can make a huge difference to well-being, inclusions, and community. And yeah, so this is my contact. So we have Q&A session now, but if we don't have enough time to share, then we can communicate through the email address and the link in URL. So thank you. Thank you very much. So that's my sessions.